This is Laurie Halse Anderson's Speak. Published in 1999, although, according to the author, she started writing it in 1996, didn't really start writing it until 1999, or was it 1998? Regardless, she published the book in 1999, which is about 26 years ago. Wow, it's nearly 3 decades since the book was published. And in it, she talks about a girl. Today, we will be summarizing half of the book, because I've only read half of the book, and in that half of the book, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about the story of Melinda Sordino. Melinda Sordino. Let's get this started with. Note, I'm really bad with last names. Laurie Halse Anderson starts off this book with Melinda Sordino. I'm just going to call her Mel from now on, or maybe Melinda, as her start in high school. First off, she starts off high school as a little bit of an outcast. She enters high school with a not exactly great reputation. We eventually learn that she was at a party with her former friends. Note, she calls them ex-friends, X-Men. And where they got drunk, and then something happened that made her call, for some reason, the police. She didn't say anything to the police, though, for another random reason that we still don't know yet. And because of that, when the police arrived and broke up the party and arrested a few people, because, well, they were underage drinkers and other felonies, her friends started to ostracize her. She described herself as an outcast, where after that, her friends went ahead and left each other, split the group of friends, and joined other groups of friends, going ahead and conscripting themselves into new groups of friends, or I suppose groups. And she was left alone. Not even the other outcasts wanted her. At least they had the social power and the willpower to go ahead and make new friends with the other loners, or losers as they were called. But she was like the only one who said, okay, do not engage, do not feed, this one will bite you. And yeah, that didn't exactly work out for the best in her. She went ahead and found this friend who was pretty much a suck-up, if you know what I mean. She was like cheery on the outside, but inside she was like a dark, demonic person that we will find out later about. The thing about this girl, though, is that she was called Heather, and she was from, I believe, Ohio. Yep, she's from Ohio. And she just introduced herself thinking that Melinda is also new. Apparently, she finds out that she isn't new, and they kind of become friends. They go ahead and go to each other's houses, and they do what they think is best for each other. Eventually, this goes ahead and leads to a little bit of a clash, but we'll get to that soon. They talk with each other, realize how ostracized they are by others, whereas Heather is trying to go ahead and join all the other groups, particularly this one group of girls goes ahead and volunteers and does stuff. And they're called Marthas, and she's trying to join them. She tries to like model herself over them, but unfortunately that doesn't exactly happen in the best way that she intended. And she was always told that, all right, you're doing this stuff, but you can't take credit for it. We are taking credit for it. And she's always sucking up to them. She's always trying to please them in whatever weird way that they expect her to. Eventually, though, this won't work out. Kind of sad. Kind of a bummer. Later on, Melinda goes ahead and finds an abandoned old janitor's closet while trying to go ahead and run away from the hall monitor teacher at the time, which was Mr. Neck, the racist, xenophobic social sciences teacher. Technically, it's called social studies. I just realized it's called social studies back then. Social studies teacher, who really hates her. He's kind of caught a glimpse of her, and she really needs to find a place to hide. She finds this door that's really unlocked, and she goes inside, hides behind it, and waits for Mr. Neck. That's probably not his real name, until Mr. Neck goes away. Inside the closet, she finds out that the closet itself is pretty old. Cobwebs are everywhere, and everything is very dusty. She finds out that she's walked into a janitor's closet, and it looks like it hasn't been touched in for years. People probably forgot that it existed after they moved the janitors out into the green room that they had, where they would go ahead and stare at the girls the girl students, high school students, and essentially be pervs or have perverted minds. She finds this place and thinks that this is her lucky place and this is where she could stay in. And as a result, she does a little makeover of the place. And by little, I mean a complete makeover of the place. First, of course, no cobwebs. Then she finds this mirror. She finds this mirror on the wall. And she sees herself, hates what she sees, and she decides to cover it up with a poster. Next day, she comes back with a poster and covers it up. This would lead to her. This would, after loads and loads of artworks and loads of classes and loads of putting stuff in there, like books and artwork on the wall, would technically become her new room, which I suppose that she would want her real room at home to look like. What's happening to her at school, so that's completely different. There's this art teacher. His name is apparently Mr. Freeman, and Freeman goes ahead, is described as really ugly as a cricket, but he's a really good artist. He draws this picture every day. He works on this picture every day about where he draws the Meriwether High School, but inside, after finishing the stuff, he goes ahead and draws the faculty members into it and draws some jail bars onto them, making this place into a solitary confinement prison, which all the kids for some reason find cool, even Melinda. He tells them all to go ahead and work on one little project throughout the entire year, and Melinda is given the random choice of tree as her artwork subject. And for the rest of the year, she would have to work on tree, but she had to make it a true artwork. This she found out that she was really good at, started drawing stuff, and it looked pretty good. There was lots and lots of vagueness, and even though she didn't see it herself or didn't intend it to go ahead and give it some meaning, that her teacher, Mr. Freeman, would see it this way. In, like, say, this is a dark brooding way. Oh, that's a pretty flexible way too. Nice drawing. And chiseling, your limestone chiselings are looking very rigid, but they look flexible at the same time too. Nice work, A+. Which would get him into trouble because later he would give 120 A+. A's, 120 A's. That's a little kind of a warning sign that's kind of a little warning sign to teachers because not everyone enjoys art the same way. For obvious reasons, you can't give everyone A+. Heather asks her to go ahead and work with her on Meriwether, on like Martha projects, where she's still, during the time when she's still trying to become a Martha, and asks her to help decorate the Thanksgiving room, the teacher's lounge as a Thanksgiving place. Heather assumed that Melinda agreed because all she was saying was nothing, just staring up at her. And they decorate the room. They decorate it. As soon as they finish decorating, they have to leave because the senior Marthas decided that this person is just someone who can do their trash work. She finds that out after loads and loads of doing their slave work, being indentured servitude, except without the indentured part. And, she quits the group. So, that doesn't happen within the first half of the book. So, little spoilers, would you? One other thing that I think is noteworthy to mention here is how often they change mascots of their school. Like in the air, they start off with like a mascot, but then they changed it again because apparently issues, and they changed it again because endangered species, and then they changed it again due to a student vote, Wombat, until they eventually settled on Hornets, and they sung this song called Horny Hornets, where they did a pretty naughty dance as well too. At least the cheerleaders did a naughty dance that got filmed and was posted on TV. Later on, at the end of the book, LAURIE Halse Anderson revealed that this was the school mascot anthem that cheerleaders did at her school, did the Horny Hornet song, but never did the Horny Hornet dance. That was described in the book and never got filmed on television. That would have got them cancelled. What does she do instead? You'll have to find out next time. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you guys soon. Until next time, Shihon out, peace. Bye bye. Hope you enjoyed my terrible artwork of stick figures.